Hey, brats. So, this is the first video of what is soon to be my podcast of Let's Be Real by Bella. I kind of want to start off with where I came up with this name, what I'm like trying to do, etc., etc., etc. I came up with Let's Be Real by Bella because um I genuinely feel like we live in a life world where people like to bullshit and people like to sugarcoat. And I think people need to be told how it is, whether they want to hear it or not. But my thing and my motto is not what you say, is how you say it. So yes, you can be real, but you can be respectful about it. You don't have to disrespect somebody because you have to keep it real. And I want to teach others that. I want people to know that these are valuable lessons that you want to hear about and you want to learn about. But it's in a way that you're learning about it. It's where you can't be closed-minded. Like you sit there, and I feel like I also want to bring guests on here that it's so like different in an aspect where you get everyone's mindset. And you might not agree with me, and you might not agree with me, the person on my left, but you might agree with my person on my right. And it's okay. But just know that there are those mindsets out there and that it's okay to think the way that you do. It's just not how you think, it's not what you think, it's how you say it or how you portray it. Because at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion. But if you're gonna voice it, make sure it's in a way that you're not gonna hurt others. Because I think that's very important. Yes, you can be real, but don't be disrespectful. Don't be rude. Don't be nasty, groggy about it. Like, we can do it in such a way where it's respectful and it's understood. So that's where I came up with the Let's Be Real. Obviously, my name's Bella, and I also really like all the B's. Let's be for Bella, and then real by Bella. So two other B's. So in total three, which I love. And if you see like my logo and stuff like that, it's a brat character, basically me. Yes, I don't have my curls out right now. I have braids, but that is me. And I'm standing on business. I'm standing on B. So yeah. So that is basically where that name came from. A little bit more of also what I'm trying to show is like I do OnlyFans, and I'm 19. I started OnlyFans at 18, and people think that people start OnlyFans because they're broke, or who knows why they think that we start OnlyFans, but I'm here to show that I was working a full-time job. I was making about 2 bands a month, like off a full-time job, but I was miserable. I was right out of high school, in college as well, still working a full-time job. And OnlyFans got introduced to me when I say I make more than what I was doing at a full-time job in my room, in my bed, doing the bare minimum. It hits different. And I am somebody who does OnlyFans, but I also work two other jobs. And I am still in school. I am in school for finance, and I work two other jobs. I'm not going to disclose my jobs, but I do work two other jobs, which shows you that these content creators literally have more going for themselves than what people think. Stop perceiving these people as like nasty or sexual or hoe or however you want to categorize it, because we are probably doing more than you are, and we're probably doing more than you will be doing in a long time. So stop hating. Just stop hating. It's okay that I am 19 and I probably make more money than you. It is okay. Because guess what? If I ball, you ball. We all gonna ball. I need to stop being a hater. Point blank period. So yeah. So that is a bit of my name and just where I'm trying to get with the Let's Be Real. Like, I'm here to educate. And like I said, the mindsets are different and the opinions are different, but it's all okay and we all accept. And I want everyone to accept everyone's mindset and opinion, because at the end of the day, we live in an opinionated world. We go off opinions. We go off of, is this person on this? Is this person on that? Like, how is it gonna make me seem? How is it this? How is that? No, forget about it. Give it up. You're done. And I'm trying to show that, like, it is okay. Like, I am young, and I would say I'm pretty confident for my age. Like, yes, I let things still get to me, but like, you really cannot get to me. And I want to teach. I want to show. Like, even at this age, and you might be older than me, and you might be struggling, I want to show you that you can do it. You can do it. There's like like whether it's emotional wise and you feel like you are in standstill of your life emotional wise, or where you're scared that you're gonna lose something if you do something. Like, I want you people to sit down and listen to this podcast and feel it all. I really like get a like, wow, like, I thought about this, but I didn't know it could be spoken about. Or I thought this way, but you see, other people don't. But it is okay. It's always that accepting part for me. That let's be real is for you to accept that it is okay to be real. It is okay to say what you have to. So I also want to keep it real on the aspect of myself. So I want to obviously let you guys know a bit about myself and my back history, and just, I think, overall my mindset and how I came to be who I am today. So I am Bella. Obviously, I'm Isabella. Nice to meet you guys. And I was born in Sleepy Hollow, New York. Um, I was born in 2004. Like I said, I'm 19. Which is crazy. I feel like people hear that year and if you're a 19's baby, you're like, a 2004 is crazy, which is crazy. But yep, I'm 19. Um, I'm also a Libra. Yeah, I'm a Libra. And so my background is a bit rocky in my opinion, and I think that really shows like the development of my character, and not just the development of my character, but also I think about like it kind of explains what I do or not with the OnlyFans. It explains like the actions I do or like the way I think, in my opinion. So I was born in Sleepy Hollow, New York. I don't remember how I switched over to Jersey, but I lived in Jersey majority of my life. So from what I can remember, I lived up to Jersey up to basically my fifth grade of school, and I what's it called lived in Jersey, but I went to school in New York. I went to school in a Greek Orthodox church like school. It was called Saint Spiridon. You probably can look it up. It's probably not there anymore. A whole scandal happened in the school when I left, so they closed it down. But basically, that shows you. So, up to fifth grade, I was in classes that were about like four kids deep. So, they had like a bunch of grades mixed up at the end of the day because there was just not enough students. The curriculum was very expensive, but I didn't have to pay because my grandmother was a pre-K teacher there. Um, I was on a regimen of like waking up at 5, 6 a.m. every single day to get to school by 7, which obviously you had to cross the bridge because I lived in Jersey. Cross the bridge, the George Washington Bridge, and get to New York. It was right off the bridge. It was in Dykeman. If you know Dykeman, Dykeman is like low key, high key ghetto. There was rats always. There was cockroaches always. And yeah, and I don't really remember much of that school. I just know there was not cute people. There weren't many people. I would not consider myself cute either, but a lot of people obviously would still talk to me, the people who were there. Um, and yeah, so when it came to up to fifth grade, okay, this is where it kind of gets rocky, and you guys have to listen and actually keep up. Fifth grade, okay, my mother found herself a little man's, okay. She moved, or she was going back and forth to see him and visit him in Connecticut, okay. I met him and I liked him. Like, I was okay with him. I didn't have a problem with him. I actually he was good. I think from the beginning he was actually pretty good. We're gonna call him Devil. I'm so sorry. That's the first thing that came to my mouth. Not mine, and I'm gonna keep it real. We're gonna call him Devil. So my mom was seeing Devil, and he lived in Connecticut. He also had a son, but I didn't meet his son until like probably within the relationship. But anyway, so I think the first day I met him, it was not the first day. Within like a few weeks of like meeting him, my mom was like, "Do you want to stay and sleep over in Connecticut, and then I'll drive you like to school?" Mind you, Connecticut from my school was probably like an hour and a half, a little bit, maybe like almost reaching 2 hours. So I was like, bet. I get up that early anyways, let's go. So my sister and I went, we slept over, and then I think that's really where it starts. So we were going back and forth at times, you know, um, fifth grade up till seventh grade. So I was still living in Jersey. Sometimes my grandparents would bring me to school. Sometimes when my mom wanted to like have us sleep over there, she would pick us up. So like majority of the time my mom also wasn't home because she was a nurse. So she did 7 to 7s, like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. She did night shifts. So we would not see her. We were with our grandparents all the time. And now she had her little boo thing. So when we would see her, it was because she was taking us over there. And then she would take us to school and everything. We wouldn't miss school. But yeah, so that went up to seventh grade. And I lied. I lied. No. We went I went up to fifth grade in that school. So once fifth grade hit, my mom took me out of St. Spiridon, okay? It was not seventh grade year. It was fifth grade year. So I was in St. Spiridon up to fifth grade. But again, we were going back and forth. Sometimes sleeping over at Devil's house. My mom would take us to school, or we were sleeping at my grandparents' house. My grandparents would take us to school. Either or, I was always traveling. I was always somewhere. And at the end of the day, I could never really have true friends when it came to school because I lived in a whole different state. Like, I had to cross a bridge. Like, parents were not crossing bridges. New York is known for not even having cars. People did not have a car. They were not going to drive me. And so I don't really see people. I did not really have friends. And now I'm going to Connecticut. And I was just chilling. Like, I was just with my mom and my sister. And we would just do what we had to do. And then I was with my grandparents sometimes. Um, and then, so I started fifth grade year in Connecticut. It was good. It was weird in my opinion because the classes were bigger, the people were different, but it was fun. And it's so funny because my fifth grade year, I literally had this whole thing where I felt like even if you were ugly, you deserved to be dated. So I dated every guy in the class, which is so weird to me. Like I just dated them. Like I didn't kiss them, hug them, touch them, nothing. I was like, oh, I'm your girlfriend. Like, bitch, come on. Anyways, so let me like speed it up. So, anyways, up till so I was fifth grade, and that was still elementary school. So then, or was it? It was something like that. And then you hit sixth, seventh, eighth, right? Which is middle school. So I did sixth and seventh in Norwalk, Connecticut. Okay, this is two different places. Norwalk, Connecticut. Okay, and then once seventh grade hits, I was supposed to do seventh grade there. Okay, and I was about a month into seventh grade year when my mom started to experience abuse, and she held her business, and she said, I can't do this. So she got us and she left. Okay. And we left with her. And it was heartbreaking because I genuinely had an amazing friend group when it came to Connecticut. And it's so funny. And y'all gonna call me a cloud chaser, but my biggest best friend in Norwalk, Connecticut was Charlie D'Amelio. I'm gonna try my best to find pictures, but I did get banned on Snap, so I don't know if I have anything. I'm gonna try my best to find a picture. But yeah, so like, mind you, she wasn't famous at this time, but me and her had a genuine connection. Like, I was in a household that was like, I was getting abused, and she was in a household where like her family and her peoples were rich. So she felt like she wasn't hurt. So like we would sleep, like she would sleep over my house all the time. And it was so good to have a friend like her. And just I had two other friends too. Their names was Victoria and Devin. And then we were all a friend group. And when I tell you it was the saddest thing leaving them. But but next thing you know, my mom is going and traveling back to Connecticut, even though I live in Jersey with my grandparents, because she was trying to make it work. I have never been abused, and I hope to never be abused, so I will never understand why my mom went back, but she did, okay? And I think that holds a lot of the situation in like how I became. So whatever. It's about to be eighth grade year, and my mom says, well, we did therapy, couples therapy, and I think that it's good for you guys to come back. Mind you, we didn't do family therapy. We didn't do all of us therapy. They did couple therapy. So I feel like we should have been involved in that therapy. to see if it would really work. Because it's one thing if you're a couple, but it's another if you're a family. Okay? And that was the problem. So we go back to Connecticut, but now we live in a different area. And I forgot to say, the devil is a police officer. So whatever. He gets a better opportunity in a place called Wilton, Connecticut. Wilton, Connecticut is one of the richest areas in Connecticut, I'm pretty sure, that you can even think of. There's probably more, but it's very expensive. And my mom ended up getting diagnosed with lupus around this time, so she had to be on medical leave for her job, but it was unpaid. So we were struggling a lot financially, and he was bad. He was not supporting. Like, he would rather buy fish, and I'm gonna say this, buy fish that my mom's allergic. She's allergic to seafood. Buy fish, sit down and eat it in front of us, and not even offer anything. So that tells you the type of person. And obviously, he was an abuser. He hit my mom. So how obviously he's bad. Whatever. 8th grade comes around. 8th grade was one of the worst. It makes me actually want to cry. 8th grade was one of the worst years in my life. My mom got so sick, and I also got foot surgery on both my feet, so I was basically impaired as well. Learning how to walk again. My mom was still getting abused, sick, seeing bruises on her, hearing the fights, hearing the screams. Like, it was bad. Up until Mother's Day of my 8th grade year, where my mom and I and my sister went to the movies at like 10, 11 in the morning, and we saw a hilarious movie. We come back home, and my mom says, like, since we were up early, let's take a nap. And my mom was kicked out the room at this point because he didn't want her sleeping there. My mom goes to lay down on the couch, and I lay down next to her. She's like, no, like, go into your room. Like, you have enough space upstairs. Go with Christine, my sister, and go sleep upstairs. And ironically, I got a new phone, like, a few days prior to this. So no one had my number. I had a new number. So my sister and I are napping upstairs. And all of a sudden, people just start spamming her phone, like, calling her like crazy. She just hangs up because she's like, I'm sleeping. Until they keep calling her. And mind you, no one was calling me because no one had my number. So my grandma finally got in touch with my sister, and she said, your mom sent us a really scary text. Go check up on her. She said, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm getting emotional. She said, okay. She walks downstairs. When she screamed, Bella, come downstairs, I've never heard fear in my older sister's voice. Excuse me. So I run downstairs. My mother is unresponsive on the couch. And it's okay. It's okay, guys, because, like, I'm not gonna lie. I got better and I got bigger off this. But anyway, so my mom is unresponsive on the couch. Basically, she took a bunch of pills and tried killing herself on Mother's Day because of this relationship, or because of basically where she was in life. That was hard. It was hard because these people made me go to school the next day. Like, literally the same day that my mother, like, the next day my mom is in a psych ward. She's on a 72-hour watch. You're telling me you're making me go to school. So I go and I tell my guidance counselor, and I'm like spending these days in this guidance counselor's office because I'm not gonna go to class. I can't. I'm crying. I can't. So yeah. So basically that ended up happening, and then we moved back to Jersey. I finished my 8th grade year there, and I start high school. By sophomore year, COVID hits. I moved to Florida. Problems kind of resolved themselves. A lot of therapy sessions, a lot of hatred for my mom. I just didn't understand. You knew my dad left me, and you were okay with leaving me on this world alone as well. So that, like, hurt. So I genuinely became a very tough person, and a very, like, I didn't understand. Like, again, like, she was keeping it real. My mom was keeping it a buck. I just didn't understand. I was upset. I was so mad. I was not okay. until I genuinely moved here to Florida. Once I moved here to Florida, it was COVID. I had no chance but basically to be online, be by myself, be with my family, and just comprehend. And that's what I did. I comprehended the situation and grew from it. And I'm telling you, my mom and I, our relationship got better like about a year ago. And like this took a long time. But yeah, so that genuinely I want to say is what made me me. I was put in a situation like even the paramedics themselves were like, how did you even know what to do? Like, how did you know? And I said, like, I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to do when your mom can't open her eyes and when she has foam coming out her mouth and she's slurring her words? What do you want? What do you expect to do? To sit there and cry and yell, mommy? No, like, go into action. And that's what made me me to this day. I'm so strong and I'm feel alone and how this I have to do this for me is because of that. Like no one was there. No one understood. No one could help this young girl who almost lost her mom. And it wasn't her fault. It was because of someone else. I felt like I wasn't good enough that to keep my mom on this planet or to keep her to want to stay. And that really fucked me up. So I like overall can say that this whole experience really just taught me that you sometimes just have to comprehend and just keep going. I was not going to understand why my mom did what she did or why my life was going the way it did. I just had to accept it and keep going. And like today, I understand and I can say like I'm okay with it of what happened in my life, but back then I couldn't. But overall, coming to Florida really like put me in my place. Like I did junior year online, so I had nobody to even like meet. It was a new school, new state. And then senior year comes around and it's like I'm starting a new school senior year. So it was just very lonely. It was very, very lonely. And even so, the people in the high school had issues with me because of guys that like I would meet in my neighborhood that I didn't know like went even to my school or had a problem with another girl. Like telling you, I've been hated on from jump. I've been hated on from day one. I don't care. I don't care. You don't know me. What's my middle name, ho? What's my last name? Do you know my phone number? Do you have my phone number? You don't. So you don't know me, and I don't care what you care about or what you talk about me, what you say about me. So yeah, I'm looking getting sidetracked. But basically, I would say that my character came from that. It was a very traumatic experience. I'm not gonna lie. And my mom is still sick. She still has lupus. It doesn't go away. And so like this really like shows me that all I need to do is be the best for my family and for myself. I could lose my mom any day. And she tells me that too. She shouldn't, but she does. I'm doing this for myself and only myself. And I want you guys, I'm being as real as I can be. I genuinely do not care what anyone has to say. Because sometimes the smile on my face is faked. And you wouldn't even know. So I don't care. And I want this podcast to show that. I don't care about what people say. And I'm going to speak about what's bothering me, what's on my mind, what other people think as well. And it's okay. And y'all are going to deal with it and you're going to love it. And I know you're going to love it. So yeah, I think that's overall just showing you what Let's Be Real is going to be about. And just me as a person. I think more questions will be answered throughout like these podcasts and these videos. And you'll get to know me and my guests a little bit more, my platform a lot more. And yeah, and I really am happy that you took your time to listen to this and really get to know me. And yeah, brats, like this is gonna be a win. I know it's gonna be a win. And I just hope that you guys see it too and that we can go together from here. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, brats. And moral of the story, you are you. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. But at the end of the day, say what you gotta say. Okay? Bye, brats. Thank you for watching.